When I was about 10 and my sister was 11 or 12, my mother told us this story. She said she was around 4 or 5 years old at the time. My grandmother, her mother, lived in a trailer back then. She'd arranged their beds right next to the window, which, as it turned out, was a mistake. It was a weekday. Grandma worked during the day, and when night fell, they both went to sleep. Then, sometime in the middle of the night, my mother woke up. She saw a man standing outside of her window, staring straight at her. Terrified, she ran to my grandmother's room and said, "There's a scary man outside the window." But Grandma didn't believe her. She told her to go back to bed. When Mom returned to her room, the man was gone. He wasn't standing there anymore. She remembered him clearly though. Tall, with a bushy white beard and dirty brown hair. His clothes were filthy, light brown pants and a jacket, like someone who'd been living on the streets. Still scared, Mom crawled into Grandma's bed for the rest of the night. The next morning, Grandma got up early, getting ready for work, and to drop Mom off at the babysitter's. Everything seemed fine and normal. But when they came back home a few hours later, everything wasn't normal, and when they first got a look at the trailer, they froze. Mom's window was gone. Someone had ripped it right out of the trailer wall. Nothing else had been touched. No jewelry missing, no money taken, nothing stolen except the window. Grandma didn't wait around. They packed up and moved in with Grandma's grandparents soon after. The man was never seen again, and that's what's always haunted me. Hello, Wansee. I wanted to share with you what I've experienced. It happened a long time ago when I was about 10 years old. Back then, I was living in a small house where all the rooms were connected to each other. Since we didn't have enough space, my 2 brothers would sleep in one room while I, my mom, and my little sister shared another. It was late one night, around 3 in the morning, and I was still awake watching cartoons on our old TV. Then, the door to my room slowly opened. Standing there was one of my brothers, but even with the light from the TV, I couldn't see his face. His entire body was just a black silhouette. As a kid, I didn't think much of it. I figured the light was maybe just playing tricks on my eyes. He sat down on the edge of the bed beside me without saying a word. His face turned toward the TV. I asked him softly if he couldn't sleep either, and if he wanted to change the channel. But he never responded. He just sat there, perfectly still, not moving a single muscle. That was strange, because my brother could never sit still. He was always fidgeting, always shifting around. But this version of him didn't even blink. After a while, I needed to use the bathroom. I slipped quietly out of bed so I wouldn't wake my mom or sister and hurried down the hall. When I came back, I passed my brother's room and froze. Both of my brothers were fast asleep. They were tangled together under their blanket, breathing heavily, not an inch of space between them. It was impossible that one of them had been in my room just moments ago. My heart dropped. My hands started shaking, but somehow I forced myself to move. I ran back toward my room. The bed was empty. The silhouette was gone, and that's when it hit me. I never actually saw its face. I didn't even know if it had been looking at the TV or at me. Even now, I still think about that night. I'll never know who or what was sitting beside me, and honestly, I'm glad I'll never find out. Hey Wansee, I'm going to share a really scary experience I had at my school. My school looks totally normal. Bright hallways, the usual classrooms, nothing weird about it. But over the years, there have been a few strange stories that have gone around. There was one about a theft that happened a while back. Apparently, a man disguised himself, got inside the school, and ripped a pair of gold earrings right off a student's ears. I still don't know if that's true or just one of those rumors that gets passed down, but it definitely freaked people out. Anyway, here's what happened to me. It was a regular day, but I remember being really tired because we had a ton of work to do. Later that day, my friend Katie and I were walking down the hallway after coming back from class. The hallway was completely empty. No teachers, no students, just us. As we were walking, I suddenly got this strange feeling like someone was watching us. I looked around, but didn't see anyone. Then, I noticed a classroom nearby. The door was closed and the lights were off. There's a small glass window on every classroom door so I could see inside, and what I saw still scares me to this day. Inside, there was a girl. She was standing perfectly still, staring right at me. Her skin was pale, almost gray, and blood was running from her ears. For a second, I couldn't move. It felt like she was staring straight into my soul. Katie asked me what was wrong, but I didn't answer. I just grabbed her hand and ran. We bolted down the hallway until we reached our classroom. My face and hands were covered in cold sweat. Katie was confused and kept asking why I looked so terrified. When I told her what I'd seen, her eyes went wide. That's when she told me something that made my stomach drop. The day before, our teacher had asked her to turn off the lights before leaving class. I had already walked ahead, and she said that right as she flipped the switch, something caught her eye. She saw the same girl, pale, standing in the dark, with blood dripping from her ears. Katie said she panicked, ran out of the classroom, and didn't tell anyone because she thought no one would believe her. She had never shared her experience of what she saw until I had shared mine. To this day, I still wonder what would have happened if we hadn't run, if we stayed in that hallway just a little bit longer.